Afternoon all. Quick couple of hours at Ivy House, just trying out the pink Amberflow through a long kit today. Just going to give it a go, set nice and soft. Literally not going to do anything clever, it's going to fish a 0.3 F1 slim on the bottom and tap in some 6mm pellets, fishery pellets, and that's it. So I'm literally just getting the rig out now and setting it up. He says literally I'm having a few hours and that's it. So literally just putting the rig on now, putting it over the knot like so. Give it a little wet, put it over, sit behind the knot, over the bead, and there we have it. This will be set too deep, so we'll it's caught under the, right, there we go. This be miles too deep, but doesn't matter. We'll snip it off as we need to. I'm going to put this is going to fish a little bulk and a dropper. (16) 4-inch hook length to a 16 SLWG banded to an 014. That's it. So I'm going to have a little plumb up, see what we can find. I have to get me plummet out. Probably hidden it, lost it, done something with it. There it is. So I'm literally going to probably just fish 13 metres. Got 14 out. Check the depth. So it's probably a bit shallow at the moment. There seems to be a little bit of a lack of water in here at the moment. So I'm just going to check my depth. Take my rings off. I'm going to fish 13. Find some where we want to fish. So no point in going too long. I'm going to pick a point. I'm not going to go right tight. I'm going to find somewhere nice and simple. I'm not going right up tight. I can go right up tight, but I'm not here to do that today. I'm just playing. So I'm going to literally fish 30 metres in line with that tree. It's a nice distance. It's quite shallow at the moment. Well, we're going to bring that back and just take my ring off because it's going to catch on my pole. I've got a little shallow rig set up on my short kit. So I'm just going to, before I snip the line off, I'm just going to get roughly the depth I want to be at. Which I think is going to be what I've got it at. Normally I'd spend a lot longer plumbing up, fishing for very long. Literally trying this elastic out. So that at the moment is not a little bit. Just not quite a body over depth. It's roughly the same depth all the way there. So I'm literally going to just drop that about 3 inches. So I have a little bit of line land on the water. I can hear something in my pole. I think one of my stoppers has come off right. I'm going to just, now I'm going to lose this excess line. And We don't want that flying around anywhere, so we just tie a knot in that. So it doesn't go anywhere. I'll stick that in my pocket so it doesn't cause any havoc. I'm going to put that in the bin when we go home. Right, let's tie another little loop onto there. And get that back on the rig. Give it a wet and a tug. Just going to check the shotting on it now as well. And that is basically going to cover pretty much. I can drop a few pellets short and it's the same depth right down there. So I will drop a few short, but I'm going to go back to my marker on that tree there. There you go. Just to lift it just a little bit. We'll start at that depth. There's a lot of fish I can see already down the edge. If I move over to the edge, depth wise, there's the same, roughly the same depth, a little bit, and come away a little bit. So I can go tighter if I want to, but today I'm not doing that. I'm just that line there. Just going to check the shot in now. So I'm going to have a 6mm pellet on here. Pellet, it should sit how I want it to. Okay, let's just lay that in. Might have cut a little bit. It'll be fine. So with on, that's going to sit just about right. So we'll leave it like that for the minute, and we can bang a trimmer on there if we need to. It's very low, the water level, so that's basically it. Okay. I don't want to break anything with pleasure fishing, so simple thing today. We're going to literally put a cup on, and we're going to just be tapping in some pellets. I'm just literally going to pop that on there a minute, so I haven't got my pellets out. So fishery 6mm pellets. And I'm just going to pour a few in my pot. Trying to do it so I don't rip them and go everywhere. It's not going very well, is it? There we go. Right. Okay, that'll do for now. So we're pretty set. I'm just going to flip off 1 minute because I just want to sort something out. Right, just eating the sandwich before we start. Okay. First thing we're going to do is £6mm fishery pellet, banded. I've got some 4s, nice and simple. A few pellets in the pot. Just going to wet the pot. Out we go. Find my marker in my 13 metre section and the join. Now I'm not worried about my rig yet. I'm turning my rig over. I'm cupping in about 7 pellets there and pull my rig over the top. Just sit and wait for a little bit. Don't expect to get a bite straight away. But looking at that, I think I might need to. Oh no, we're sitting all right. Just going to hold the rig still. Might have cut a little bit too much line off. A little bit windier than I thought. I want to keep the rig as steady as possible, really. I can tie a little bit more line on. I was a bit eager. There's a little dink and skimmer. There you go, that's just tapping in a few 6 mils. So, just going to do the same again. And each one we're going to put 3 or 4 pellets in this time. That's all. Didn't dip me pot, but there's not many in now, I'm not going to panic. Back on my little marker on my 30 metre line. There is my marker. Turn my cup. Drop those pellets in. Drag the pole over to the tree that is my marker. And hold it as still as possible. Like I say, it's started picking up the wind a bit, typical. I will probably put a slightly longer line on in a minute. It's just moving a little bit too much for my liking. That's fine, I'll just add a little bit of line to the rig just to keep it nice and still. I'll just stick a little bit of line on there. I don't like doing that normally, but I've got my catapult. I'm not going to ping anything yet. I might do in a little while. Just a bit more noise in the water, but see what sort of response we get. Just tapping in some pellets. Little annoying bit of twig or something around my float there. Right. If I drew this peg in a match, I would 100% have a method feeder set up to fished on the point of that where the rope is, if you can see it. There's a bit of a muddy bank, you can just see the mud bank there, and that's the place to, just in front of that's the place to put your method. And then pole along the bank, to be honest, that's probably what you would do. But I haven't come here to do that today. I've just come to have a couple of hours stress-free fishing. Just want to give this elastic a bit of a stretch. I'm definitely going to have to slightly put a longer line on. I think that rig's moving around a little bit too much. There we go, another skimmer. They do like to jump about. Now, if I was fishing for skimmers, I'd be fishing my white Amberflow, not the pink. To be honest, only these skimmers haven't really shown a lot in the winter, and there's loads in here. And here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a little bit more line on here just to see if we can just steady that rig off just a little bit. Right. So now I'm going to put a back shot on there as well. Put 2 9, so I'll hold the back shot up. I'm going to put that just on my original line. There we go. Right, let's try again. 6mm pellet. And 1, 2, 7 pellets this time. Keep it tight at the moment to start with. Right, that's a bit better. That's giving me a little bit more manoeuvrability, if that makes sense. So, and now here we go again. Marker. Hold my pole on the join. Drop those pellets in. And lay that rig right over where I've dropped them in. This time I'm holding the back shot up. And that's just keeping that float stiller. With a bit of luck, if we do hook some skimmers, it'll stop them jumping. With more having a slightly longer lash. Keeping it nice and tight. You get one leaf on the lake and it sits right where your float is. I'm doing this little bit live, so it's the first part of the session, if that makes sense. No turning the camera off or anything, and there we go. This time I'd say that is another skimmer, I think. Yep, it's a skimmer. Might be a case we're going to have to put a bit more feed in, try and feed them off. But it doesn't matter, we're only just having a little pleasure sesh, so there we go. I'm going to change my pellet again. Yeah, it'd be fine, but I'm going to change it. Bit too big, that one. Let's go for a slightly Sitting there nice, that pellet. I'm just going to get that bit of slime off. Right, I'm going to put a few more pellets in this time, just to make a little bit more noise. Same place on that marker, 30-metre joint. Don't worry about the rig. I'm going to hold it up a little bit higher this time, drop the pellets in from a little bit of a higher distance. And then let's pull that rig over the top. And there we go. Hold it still, holding the back shots up. Doesn't look windy, but there's a little gust that seems to be swirling around this little bit here. Missed the bite. Let's lay the rig in again. Lower it in nice and slowly. I think that's been had on the way down. It had that bit of noise, obviously has made a bit of a attracted a few fish into the peg. Just going to hold that rig so it straightens up. And will it be a skimmer again? Oh, I missed that bite. That flew under. I don't know if you can see that. Let me just see if I can see if you can see what I'm seeing. Have a little look if this will work. Have a look. I'm going to miss bites while I'm doing this. There we go. No, that's the wrong one. Come on. Right, camera. Right, before I concentrate on what I'm doing fishing, I'm just seeing what you can see. If I can zoom that in a little bit more. And then we've hooked a fish, literally, while we were doing that. This time it's a carp. So we'll see how we do on that. I'm hoping you can see that. And this is the pink Amberflow. So it's just an 0.14 hook length. Just trying this, you know, I'm really just putting this elastic through its paces really. No need to rush and panic. I like elastic where you don't feel that you're sort of battling with the fish, you're just letting the elastic do the work. And this is definitely doing the work. We'll have to try and get his head up in a minute. Not let you know he's boss. I don't think it's that big, 2-3 pound maybe. I'm hoping it's not foul up because I was playing around with my camera when I hooked it. So there we go. Oh, there we go. What's it? A couple of pounds, maybe 3 pound, maybe. Trouble is, there's not much water in the lake at the moment, so they're fighting a lot. They'll be fighting a bit harder than they would normally because they're not going down deeper, they're just sort of skiting around. That makes sense. So they've got no depth to go into, so fighting fit. There we go. They do put up a good account themselves, these fish. £2.5, £3. Right, now you can see what I'm going to turn this off again because I don't want to upset the battery. I want to save some battery, so that should the pot, because I'm being lazy and can't be able to get another pot out with bigger holes. I'm just going to dunk that whole cup in, and I'm going to sort of tip them in a little bit from a height without bouncing them out. I have a feeling if I start loose feeding, it's going to go a bit scatty and there'll be fish everywhere. So I'm going to sort that rig out there. I'm going to then just put them all in like that, and I will put the lid back on. I think put them in there wet, they stuck a little bit, so there we go. See what happens this time. Oh, that wind's a little bit naughty actually. What's that? 3 skimmers, 1 small carp. Just happening a few 6mm pellets. I did think it'd just come in with a pellet wag and just literally keeping in 8mm pellets, but I didn't. There we go again. So that might be bigger. I think it is actually. I think it's just I was a bit shocked when I hooked it. See, I do like having soft elastic because you can just let the fish do what it wants to do, really. Definitely a bit bigger. It doesn't help when you've got shallower water. It's just basically, I just wanted to fish this elastic for a long kit. So I've only been using it for a short kit, so I just wanted to see how it reacted, and it's lovely. Absolutely lovely. Should have had that. There we go. Right. What have we got here? A bit bigger this time. They give me sort of £4 maybe. I'm not going to hold it up because I don't want it to do itself any damage. There we go. Oh, good stuff. Here we go again. 6mm pellet. This one's slightly elongated. This one. Right, and then we go again. A few pellets. I'll tap them in again. Just going to move that shot. It's moved. Okay. I'm going to pull that bit of lucky. Just going to pull a little bit out, just so I know where I'm at. Okay. So he's going to keep repeating the process. Tapping those pellets in. That's better coming out now with a bit of a pull the rig over to where I dropped them in. What I'm going to do after this, I'm going to ping some pellets. Mate boy's caught a duck, I think. Oh no, he hasn't. He's caught a fish. Right. There we go again. I don't actually need to change doing what I'm doing feeding wise, because what I'm doing is fine. I think if I start loose feeding, it will go scatty. I'm not competing against anybody. I'm not trying to draw fish from anywhere else, because it's just me. There's a lot of these size fish in here now, which is nice. Nice day's fishing, plenty of bites, which is all good. That was bad angling, bad netting. There we go. There we go, another ivy house. Right. Pick the cutter pole up where my marker is. Let's see what happens. Just see, it makes me go scatty. You get less bites or more bites. Well, that's perfect, and that's what we didn't want to happen. I think I know what's going to happen. I think I'm going to get missed bites, liners, things like that now. So we'll just get that. Oh, sorry about that. It's not as bad bit of catapulting as the wind. It's another reason. There's no point in doing this. Can't be accurate. Don't do it. Just put it in. You know, if you're getting bites, carry on doing what you're doing. And you need to change when you stop catching, really. I didn't need to do that. I've just done it out of curiosity. Straight away I'm getting roached. So now what I'll do is I shall go back to clapping in after this, because just that little bit of loose feeding, I'm just getting lots of movement on my float. Little wasp buzzing around my head. Little bubby one. Try not to get wet. Thank you. And again, 6mm pellet. I'm going to cup them in again. Definitely took longer to get a bite after loose feeding last time. And I think sometimes on matches, I'm the world's worst for feeding too much too quickly. So, same again. Tap the pellets out. Draw the rig over your marker. Let it straighten out. Over it in. It's sitting quite right. That's better. This is a 0.3 F1 slim with 3/8, 4/8 I think. I can't remember now. I need to have a look when I bring it in. I'll tell you when I bring it in. Yeah, so it almost seems to be much better just cupping in at the moment. And there's not a load of fish on the surface. It's not very deep. There's no point in feeding loose feeding loads of bait, trying to get the fish up when it's not very deep to start with. So today would be in a nice shallow lake like this, just cupping it in and just trying to hit every bite. Basically. If the fish want to come up, they will tell you. We lost it. Right, so float wise it's 3/8 and an 8 dropper because I've got a 6mm pellet on. Normally I would have 4/8 and a 9 or a 10 dropper I think, or a little trimming, sorry, a little trimming shot, 11 trimming shot. But because I'm fishing 6mm pellets, yeah, so they're not coming out still properly, those pellets. Let me just do a little test. Yeah, let's make another hole in it. So let's go again. On my marker, that's better, and pellets are coming out nice now. So lower that rig in. I could loose feed. I might loose feed to my left slightly just to see if I can get a few fish up on a different line, just for fun. Just to see what happens. Could have one tapping in line and one loose feeding line. Let's do that. Just going to get a marker sort of thing. So what we'll do is we'll move out of the way for a minute. We're just going to pick another marker, be the tree dead opposite. And I'm going to ping on that other line, which, funnily enough, I've hooked a roach. Right, good to go again. Here we go again. 6mm pellet, in the cut, dump them in. And I'm just going to loose feed that other line. Because we want to see what happens there. See if it makes any difference. Right, tree, it's quite a big marker, but there you go, tapping them in, drop it in. I think there's a few fish there now anyway. Definitely been better since I put a bit more line on the rig, so the pole's not right over the float. Seems to definitely make a bit of difference. There we go again. That one's on a run, that's a bigger fish. This is probably where I need to be going a little bit heavier, but I just wanted to really put this elastic through the test. This is why I'm only on a 0.14. I could step up, I might have to step up if it carries on like this, but as I say, we're not here for too long. Just want to see what I can get away with and what I can't get away with on this elastic, basically. There's some big fish in it, don't get me wrong. You would have a couple of, in a match, you would have a couple of rigs set up, obviously. Now, these small fish in here, they do go scatty. I'm trying to keep it from going underneath the landing stage. It's too easy for them because there's no water in it, so they're not stupid. They're just very, very energetic today. That's for sure. Fighting like blinking mad. There, see, that one's knowing where to go. And that one, ooh, has to be a little bit more aggressive, I think. I'm giving them a bit of stick, if I'm honest. There we go. That's what, 5, 6. Nah, it's not that big actually. £5 or something. It's one of those mad fish that won't give up. Oh, it's bigger than I thought. Well, I'll give that £6, I reckon. No, £5. £5. Lean, mean fight machine. Again, capping it, just tapping it in. Good. I mean, elastic's responsive. It's going straight back. It's good. I mean, I've been testing this already anyway. I just wanted to give it a good old testing. Thought I'd do it on camera, just so you can show that I'm not just saying it. You can see that it is good. Like I say, probably would fish a little bit heavier, in all honesty, now, but I'm getting them all out, and I prefer a softer elastic than I do a heavy. It gives you a bit more room for error, I think. That's personally. You know, Tommy Pickering always saying it's better to get them out than keep losing them. So, right, let's just ping that again. Just doing it to see if anything comes over it. Right, tap it in again. Then we'll have a drop in over where we've been feeding it. See what happens again. So, not worry about the rig. Tapping the pellets in. Feel like they're there waiting for it now anyway. The rig down. It's all out. You have to remember, if every peg was in, be a lot more bait going in. Fish are going to get split up. So don't get me wrong, you're going to catch plenty of fish when you're here on your own. Pleasure fishing. Yeah, it could be that I'm not feeding enough now with the amount of fish that are probably coming to have a look at that. You know, I need enough bait to hold the fish there. But they'll come back anyway, because you're on your own. They've got nowhere else to go. There's nobody else feeding. There's a couple of pleasure anglers to my left, but I haven't seen them feed anything yet, to be honest. It's all about feeding. Fishing is all about feeding. How much to feed and when not to feed. And trying to work out quicker than everybody else the best depth of fishing. I say today's a bit different because it's very low. Not that low actually, but it's definitely low. I feel like I'm a long way off the water sitting here today. Right, there's a drop in over there where I've been loose feeding now. So if I was fishing in a heavier elastic, I wouldn't be able to bring my pole back in as quick as that. And it's only little fish, but you want to get the fish under control as quickly as possible. And if I had a heavy elastic on, I'd be putting the pole back and pulling out that fish. You know, if every single fish in here was £10, you'd be fishing it differently, but you don't know what size fish you're going to catch in here, so you want to cater for everything. And this elastic is doing that. I'd be quite happy if I hook a 10-pounder. Wouldn't have any issues about worrying about where I'll get out or not. Right, it's going to drop in over loose feed line just to see what happens. Driven from Wantage to come here just because the nearest venue to me really. I've been feeding a little bit too short on that line, but that's fine. Let's see what happens. Just want to see. See if it's better or worse. Could be, you know. I do sometimes when I'm come here, I do sometimes think that I fed too much, and interesting, isn't it? Yeah, well, there we go. So that's a smaller fish, but we'll go back on that line where we've been loose feeding. There's some big fish out there as well. It's a small fish, but quite a few fish bolted away then when I oh no you don't. When I was feeding, so oh whoop, that's right. It pulled out as we went to net that one. Right. See what happened. So I think that's a bit bigger, this fish. Be a little bit careful. I'll actually break the pole down into 2 bits, I think, on this one. I don't think it's that much bigger actually, but I think it thinks it's bigger. I think it is a bit bigger. No, it's not any bigger, it just thinks it's bigger. It's a bit bigger, but it's... There we go. Little chunky monkey. Okay. We'll go out again on that line, but I do feel that I'll try slapping my little rig over the top in a minute, just for the head of it, because I think, obviously there's fish up in the water. I do think that cupping it in was working better. It's just interesting. It's getting lots of dinks and knocks and things going on in the pegs. It's not being controlled at all. If you know, I'm not controlling it, I'm just feeding and almost messing it up, if that makes sense. Definitely messing up my feeding. But putting loads of bait in doesn't seem to be doing any good. Now I'm getting fizzing. And that's skimmers. Whereas where I've been tapping it in over there, I've got no fizzing. Just goes to show, doesn't it? It's a good lesson that that has made it 100% worse. Loose feeding has not done any good whatsoever. Just made it worse. So that is a good lesson. So it goes to show that less can be more, and I think that's a big lesson for me. I definitely do feed too much on some of these matches. We go back again where we were, and we're just going to lay the rig in, find my marker, tap that in like that, lay the rig over the top, and hopefully we'll just get clean bites again. So it goes to show that it's so easy just to overfeed and just mess up your peg. So that's much cleaner straight away. Just goes to show you how better it is. It's not foul hooked, it's in the mouth. It's a bigger fish. So it's made it a lot better. It's going to take me on a merry dance now. So unfortunately that was too big for what I'm trying to do, but I actually should have left a bit more pole out on that one for a bit longer. Trying to get it in too quick, basically. Same again. Same again. This time I'll tap it in again. So just lay the rig out of the way, tap in the bait. Straighten the rig out. Lower it down. Might have been foul in the mouth, but I don't know. But it's definitely goes to show how much better it is just tapping it in than loose feeding. This time I'm going to take my time, not rush. I was trying to be a bit too clever last time. There's a lot of fish mooching around now where I did loose feed, but you know. I'm going to break down here. But I still believe that a soft elastic can be better, because I just feel that you do pull out more fish when you're fishing too heavy. If they're in the gob, I think you'll get them out on the softer elastic. It's not very big anyway, but definitely better just doing this 100%. Proved a point to me today as well how much better it is just cupping a little bit in. Let's do it again. Right, I'm just going to drop in over the loose fed line just to see what happens again. Now what these pellets are, if I'm honest, I don't think they're scratching, so I don't know what they are. Anyway. Just see what happens again on this line where we were loose feeding. Will we just foul hook something? I doubt I'll even pick the rig up, but just a small fish, just going a bit scatty. There we go. So that's if you don't flip about, mate, I'll have the hook out in 2 seconds and you are back in the lake. Right, let's just... Oh, I forgot to put a... Shouldn't do that, stretch it out in the sun. I'm just literally... It'll be quick. Just want to see what happens on this. I think actually it says an overshotted on here. I didn't even think about it. I just pinged it, put an old rig on. So we'll try it for a laugh. See what happens. Bit too high up really for doing that rig, but see what happens, shall we? Okay. Right. Allow for the. Okay, let's see what happens. See if we can catch one and overshot it on here. I'm not expecting to be honest. I should think if I just hold it, there's fish up in the water, they'll just grab it without lifting and dropping. My feeding's atrocious, just so you know. There's swirls going on and everything out there now. But it's not the sort of thing you do on this lake, to be honest. I just picked any rig out of my short kit case. This happens to be the wrong one. Just hold it. Obviously, it's not, as I say, the level's down. It's not that deep. I don't expect to catch on this. I might spangle one, but you're better off doing this on this lake with a proper little slapping rig. We just try and catch one for fun. There we go, look at that. That's for a short kit this time. The Amberflow for a short kit. Oh, I keep doing that. And it's an F1, how funny is that? That's what you'd, sort of way you catch F1s on an overshorted. And that's quite funny. One of the fantail F1s out of Heron. That's amusing. It's massive, amazing. You see the difference in the size of their mouths. You can see why a 4mm pellet would be better for doing this for those fish, for these size fish. I am harping on a bit, I know, but give it another go for a bit of fun. And then we're going to suck it off. There's obviously an awful lot of skimmers down there as well now. And what do we catch? A skimmer. Just tell by the way it's fizzing. A skimmer on an overshotted. See, we're doing it all wrong for skimmers. We should be fishing overshotted in the summer. That's what it is. Must be a match on somewhere. So the whistle go. That tells me it's 3 o'clock. I'm going to carry on doing this for a bit longer. Bit of overshottedness, so for me, I've learnt in a short space of time about cupping it. I think was better for getting like clean bites. Definitely. This is the wrong rig for this, if I'm honest, but Yeah, look at that, that's interesting. Look at that, there's a big old carp right underneath that. Went for that then. There we go. I think a normal rig, if I just keep turning it over, I definitely would catch more doing just slapping it in like a normal rig. Definitely spook a little bit from this because they're not used to it on here. I don't think anybody fishes overshot. Well, I don't know, I might be right. I've not fished a match on here for ages, if I'm honest. That's one more on this and we go back on the deck. It'll definitely shine away from the pole tip. The carp, bigger carp for sure. I have seen it all before in here, that's for sure. But it's interesting because I'm feeding like mad, going up and down, doing God knows what else. Whereas when I was just cupping it in over there, it was much quicker. So there you go. A bit like the horse, the hare and the tortoise really. I probably would have caught 4 fish now, 4 or 5 fish on the other line, I reckon. Or even just fishing on the bottom over this line, rather than doing what I'm doing. So if you were to, if I was having a match here tomorrow, I would definitely be fishing pellets. And I'd have one cupping it in 9 and one pinging 9, but I'd have just a normal shallow rig, basically. I get a funny feeling that the bigger fish, obviously they're bigger fish just below the surface. Less elastic obviously in the short kit, so it's a little bit more less forgiving. Funny thing, this is going to be the biggest fish, but then it will be a shallow fish. Normally the shallow fish are bigger. So Amberflow through a short kit now. Okay, we caught a couple on that overshot. The battery died while I was landing that fish. Interesting, because we'll definitely catch a few fish on 100% catching fish on a normal shallow snapping rig. That's for sure. Just going to go over this line again on my just putting that bead up. I need to cut that elastic back a little bit because it needs a bit of a trim. I set it quite loose this morning, to be honest. We're just going to flick this rig over where we've been noose feeding, and see what happens again. We're sacking it off shortly anyway. That was a fish just below the surface. You know, it's at that point now where I think just a normal shallow slapping rig probably be best, rather than I was trying to be clever with an overshorted rig. I could take the shot, so I'll take some shot off that other one actually. Flip it around a bit because I'm like missing bites now. Definitely, they've come up in the water. Well, there you go. So that lifting and dropping and flicking and making the noise definitely makes a difference. That's for sure. Interesting. It is interesting. You don't, so much stuff you don't learn till you come out on your own and do stuff. I haven't come out and pleasure fished on my own for ages. I'm glad I've come today because it's just opened my eyes. I think I've just been going through the motions on a lot of venues rather than thinking about what I'm doing, if that makes sense. Right, we're going to have one more fish and then we're calling it a day. I still think on this lake, just the normal slapping rig, just keep turning it over, is better than lifting, dropping on this lake. There's definitely one there then. It just works so well. It really does. Is it quicker than doing what I was doing though? No, not on here if I'm honest. Ain't very big. It's just a bit scatty. And it's an F1. It just knows, you see, it's overshot your rig, he's got to take it. But I've done what I came to do today, which was just playing around with the elastic, and it is spot on. Absolutely spot on. Should have my roller a lot higher up behind me. There's a great big fish down there then. Right, right next down underneath my feet. I could try and catch it, but I'm not going to. So the feeding, it's not as bad as it looks, I promise you. The wind keeps changing a bit and it doesn't look like it is, but it is. It's quite gusty. It comes out of nowhere, just catches into your pole and catches your feed as it's going in. Interesting. There we have it. So that's catching on an overshotted rig, feeding really badly. Catching on a cup, just cupping it in. And this time of the year, I think, as soon as you lose feed anything, it's inevitable that the fish are going to come up, as proved today, really. But I've enjoyed doing this for a short period of time, so we're going to have one more go after this, and then that's me lot. I'm not going to go back on the cupping it in now, but it's been very interesting. Damn it. Don't wriggle. Don't wriggle, come here. There we go. Right. I guarantee you, if I do that, by the time I pack up, there'll be loads of fish down there. I'll be getting swirls and stuff, I reckon. See what I mean by that? They come into the sort of slap, and I just think a slightly longer line, proper slapping rig, gonna be better than this. There's a load of fish there now, so I'm on my own. It's got to be the last fish now because I've got to go and do stuff. Take the dog out for a walk and all that malarkey. But it's been really good. Really enjoyed it today because I've learned a lot again. And that's what it's all about. I just needed to come out catching fish. I wanted to do some stuff with this elastic. There's a good opportunity just to sort of try loose feeding, try cupping it, and just see what happened. You know, see what worked the best. Right, so there we have it. Alright, I'm going to put my rig away, So the rig today was the rig I used for fishing on the deck was 0.3 in Everett, 3 number 8s and a number 8 dropper, just positive, straight down. The 9 to 11 Amberflow elastic, which is liquid filled. So let me tell you now, when people out there are saying that they've got the best elastic in the world, that's a bit of a over exaggerated statement, that, because I'll tell you now, all the elastic more or less comes from the same, pretty much the same places. America, Amberflow, and there's Chinese versions. It's all pretty much the same, and simple as that, really. So that it's all pretty much all the hybrids the same as well. It's all the same stuff, just labelled. Some that have it cut slightly different colours, labelled slightly different, and that's it. Just quick. That was this overshot rig was just a 3B8 SD dibs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 9s down there, and with the Amberflow elastic. Absolutely love it, this elastic. I've got to say it. It's as good as anything out there, is what I'm going to say. There you go. I'm not saying it's better than anything out there. It's as good as anything out there. I don't think anybody that says their elastic's better than anything else out there is a false statement. It's as good as anything out there. It's not better than anything else out there. Unless somebody's got some magic fluid that nobody knows about, then that's it, really. Well, that was a lovely few hours, and I'm signing off now. I'll pack up, have a little edit of this, and hopefully put it out on my YouTube channel a bit later, and we'll go from there. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.